So now I'm going to digress a little bit and talk about what if you don't have an advanced healthcare directive? What if you never got around to signing this document? Well, not all is lost. The legislature has realized that people can be in a circumstance where they have no competency, no capacity, but somebody has to make their decisions. So there are a couple of different ways that this can be done. And one is called surrogate decision making, and the other is guardianship. Surrogate decision making is when and there's a list, and I listed it here on this slide. These are the people that the state has decided in this order can make decisions for you. That's a spouse or a partner, an adult child, a parent, an adult sibling, an adult grandchild, an adult niece or nephew, an adult aunt or uncle, or another adult relative. So the list gets further and further, your relatives who can make that gets further and further away from you. But any one of those can be named as a surrogate. Alternative to getting a relative named as a surrogate, you can have a guardianship. Now, a guardianship is a formal process. You have to go to court, and it can be contested. The guardian must use substituted judgment. So it's very similar to an agent, but it's a very convoluted, difficult process to get your guardian appointed. And it's probably not in anyone's interest, if you can avoid it, to leave it to the courts. Much better to take care of it on your own. Now, what is the disadvantage of relying on either a surrogate or a guardian as opposed to doing the advanced healthcare directive yourself? So if you're going to rely on a surrogate, then you are limited in the timing. A surrogate can make no decisions for you until you lack capacity. So I discussed this very briefly, and I will discuss this in more detail coming up, but an advanced healthcare directive allows you more flexibility. You can decide that even if you don't lack capacity, you want an agent to help you. That is not available to you if you're a surrogate. If you're a surrogate, only if there's a lack of capacity. So when the surrogate makes decisions for you, those decisions are only effective if you are in a terminal condition. So you're at the end of your life, it's been determined you have 6 months or fewer to live, or you're in a persistent vegetative state. If you are in a non-terminal condition, but otherwise may benefit from a surrogate, the surrogate cannot help you. For example, if you have advanced Alzheimer's disease, you may not be at the last 6 months of your life. You may live for a considerable amount of time beyond that, but because you are no longer considered terminal, a surrogate cannot make decisions to withhold or withdraw life-sustaining treatment. A surrogate can always approve, but they can't withdraw if it's recommended. In other cases, for example, again, the example I gave of the person falling out of bed and breaking their hip, in that case, surgery cannot be denied if you're a surrogate, if you're not terminal, if you're not at the end of life care. So there are limitations on what a surrogate can do. Beyond what a surrogate can do, who is the surrogate? You don't get to choose. I showed you the list of all those people. They're going to just go down the list, and your spouse might be the first one on the list. Maybe your spouse is not the right person for you. Maybe it's your niece. Your niece is quite a ways down the list. You don't have that opportunity to choose. If you didn't prepare an advanced healthcare directive, then you don't get to choose who your surrogate will be. Also, by definition, there's no written instructions. If you have written instructions, they're going to be in your advanced healthcare direction. Without written instructions, there is going to be potentially mistakes made. Information may not be available to the surrogate. The surrogate may misremember what your instructions were. The surrogate may never have discussed your wishes in any detail. So this makes it very difficult if you're relying on a surrogate.